Hey everybody, this is TJR, and I received the other day the third installment, for lack of a better word, of Amazon's Vinyl Record Club of the Month. And what's interesting about this is that about a week or so ago, I got a comment from a viewer who mentioned that it was interesting that both he and I were getting the same records in the same order. Just like me, he got The Clash, London Calling, which I decided not to keep. I reviewed the album. I thought it was a good album, but I didn't like it enough to pay $25 for it on vinyl. I was going to return it, but instead, I gave it a nice home. And then I received the Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street, and this viewer did as well, which was this glorious sounding half-speed master cut at Abbey Road Studios that was amazing. And of course, I already knew I liked that album. I already had it on CD and never had it on vinyl, so I was definitely keeping that one. And I did. And this viewer said to me, I've already found out I'm getting Diana Ross and the Supremes #1, which is a collection, 2-record collection, definitely retailing for more than $25, which once again, that's the monthly membership fee. And so far, all the records that I've received have listed for well more than $25. They've all been double record sets. So is this one, which arrived here. You'll notice I haven't opened it yet, and there's a reason. I looked up this particular release and looked up the company that it was coming from, and they do special releases. And this particular collection, all of the tracks were remixed. And I listened to it digitally just to kind of check it out. And the remixes are really nice, I have to admit. The remastering is really nice. And I thought, yeah, this is a nice collection, but not enough for me to want it, own it on vinyl, and not enough to pay $25 for. So this time around, it's not getting a home. It's just going to get sent back to Amazon. And I think this is good because now I get to go over with you all the return process, the experience with that. And returning stuff to Amazon has always been terribly easy, so I'm not expecting any real issues here. I think the interesting thing is that when I read the initial terms and conditions, whatever you want to call it, for their record club, was that if you didn't like what the selection you received, because you don't get to pick them, they pick them. If you don't like the selection you receive, you can just return it unopened. And what they meant by unopened was still in the shrink wrap. However, though, I do have to wonder, though. I have returned albums that I've bought on Amazon, opened up the shrink wrap, played them, and then found that there was something wrong with them. That there was, a big, click or pop that shouldn't have been there for a brand new record. I've experienced that. And when you buy something brand new, you shouldn't be experiencing that at all. And there was one situation with an album where it had this big old nasty poof pop on it. And I said, okay, this is going back. And of course, there was no issues with that. So at any rate, though, but I'm going to follow their rules. I'm not even going to open the box because I already know what it is. Now, one other little thing here. I did download the MP3 because they say download your album. I did that with London Calling. And someone said to me, be careful, they might charge you for the download if you return the album. To which I thought, well, if they do, that's fine. That's fair. The download is much less expensive than buying the vinyl record. The download's probably about like $8 or so. That's fine, and I'm okay with that. I don't think they ever did bill me for the London Calling. Well, nothing extra, of course. Once again, I didn't return it. I just gave it a nice home. With this here, I'm going to return it. So we'll see if they bill me for the download, which once again, I don't mind paying for it. It's a nice collection, not nice enough that I would want to pay $25 for it on vinyl and have it take up space with my other vinyl records where my space is limited for that sort of thing. So I'm going to return this one back and just see how the return process goes. I'm not expecting any trouble, but I will, of course, do a follow-up on this same video where I talk about the return process. I think that's important for people to know. It's been interesting, some of the other feedback I've gotten. There was one viewer who said that he quit their club because after 3 months, he said with one exception, he kept getting records that were normally selling for $25. He wasn't getting anything like a special deal for doing it. And I get that, you know. Another thing that I've noticed is different people, depending on where they are, getting the same records as other customers. Just like me and this other viewer who, he got the same thing. He got Lennon Calling, he got Exile on Main Street, and then he got Diana Ross and the Supremes #1. And other people, their first record was The Wall. And other people, their first record was something else. But depending on where you are, I guess, I'm guessing maybe it's where you are, certain customers are getting the exact same records. Now, of course, Amazon advertises this as they have their curated musical experts picking records for you, and I think that's probably a lot of baloney. I think it has to do more with what they have a lot of stock on that they need to try to let go of in the area that you're in. And of course, they're all classics. They're all proven classics. So once again, I think for people who may already own a lot of classics, and there was one viewer who said, you know, I joined, but I'm afraid I'll get a lot of duplicates. If you have already bought a lot of classic albums on vinyl, then there's that possibility. Now, me, of course, I grew up at the tail end of the vinyl era as a teenager. I bought vinyl records, but then, of course, CDs came along, got rid of my records like a lot of people did and just got CDs. So most of these classic albums they're going to probably send me, I don't own on vinyl. I have a feeling that's going to be perhaps 90% of the time. So I'm not too worried about that. And once again, if it turns out it is, I can just return it really easy. And I'm not expecting any issues, but we're going to return it and see what happens. In the meantime, I want to say thank you to everybody who's been providing their feedback with their experience with us, just to see how this is. Once again, I'm after 3 months now, and we're going to see what happens next month. I don't know how long I'm going to stay in this, by the way. I never intended to stay in this forever. I just intended to try it out and report the experience. And after 3 months, I would say that if you don't own a lot of classic albums on vinyl, if you only own them on CD and you want to own them on vinyl, this is so far looking like it's a good deal. So long as they're not sending you records that you could buy for less than, you know, that they normally charge less for than $25. So we'll see how that goes. But I don't intend to stay in this forever. But otherwise, it's probably not a good idea. And of course, you've probably already seen my experience with Vinyl Me Please, which a much more expensive record club dealing with much more high-end, more personalized releases where you really do have expert curators there, creating a very unique product for you. At any rate, though, you can check out that. You can check out, of course, those videos. But at any rate, though, so this is month 3, and we're sending it back, and we'll see what happens with month 4. Hey, everybody, this is TJR from the future, interrupting TJR in the present. And just wanted to give a little update here and say that returning the album was absolutely no problem at all. I simply logged into my Amazon account. Under orders, I chose the item that I wanted to return. Under why are you returning this, I used didn't approve purchase. They have a pre-selected reasons you have to choose from. I felt this one was the most appropriate. Under comments, I wrote Amazon Record Club, did not choose, click continue. From there, I was given a choice of options as to where I would like to deliver my return. I chose a local UPS store location that was very close to me. All I had to do was show them my QR code, which they emailed to me. They just took the item, and that was it. We were done. The return was completed, and I received a credit. Let's return now to TJR in the present. Everybody, thank you so much for your comments and your feedback. If you like what I do, be sure to click like, click subscribe, and smash that bell notification icon so you can know when I release new videos. I want to thank my patron supporters who are helping me make more videos. And when I say more videos, the patron supporters, what they're helping me to do is make those deeper dive analytical videos, which take a lot of time, a lot of work, that hopefully you are checking out as well. And I really appreciate their support. And if you'd like to be a patron supporter, go to patreon.com/TJR the original. And if you can't be a patron supporter, please just click like and share these videos on your social media. Everybody, thank you for watching. I hope you all stay safe and healthy. Bye-bye.